Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. If you guys didn't already know, MarkZ posted his 2021, what he's calling Spring Split Power Rankings. Again, no one's really sure how to call this first portion of the LCS season. I guess people are still going to be calling it Spring Split out of habit, but they're not really splits anymore. It's just one big long season. He is calling this his Spring Split Power Rankings, again, headed into the 2021 season. This is over on Travis Gafford's channel, so if you haven't already, definitely go check this out. It is a really good video. He gives a nice breakdown on every single team, and again, it's just another guy giving his opinions. So in this video today, I wanted to be reacting to MarkZ's opinions, because I know a lot of you guys shit on my opinions all the time and say I'm not an expert or a league analyst or whatever. So let's get the opinions of, you know, one of the big guys, one of the big guys in the League of Legends scene. And again, I'll be giving my thoughts and opinions as we go through each one of his picks. But before we get into that, I just want to mention real quick a word from today's sponsor, which is Draft Buff. This is a fantasy esports website and app you can play now in the browser. You can download in the App Store, you can download on Google Play. And today I'm excited to announce they have their new mode, Draft Royale, out now. It is an awesome mode where you get to draft a roster on a budget. Instead of picking teams in order like a regular snake draft or something, you just have an amount of money. Each player is worth an amount of money, and you have to like mix and match those players to fit under the salary cap, but still go for the most points possible. I'm gonna have a link down in the description below if you want to join my Draft Royale league and compete with me. This is fun because we can get more people involved, so definitely check that out. Shout out Draft Buff for this one, and thank you guys so much. So with that being said, here we go, talking about MarkZ's picks. Let's see who he's got. We're gonna go 10-1, bottom to the top, and I'm gonna give my thoughts and opinions on each one of his picks. So first up at number 10, he has Golden Guardians, as we can see here on the right side. No surprise there. I think that's pretty much what most people are going to have as their bottom tier team, because there is some LCS teams this season going kind of young, going with the academy team, going with a lot of new up and coming, mostly North American rosters and stuff like that. But Golden Guardians is really the only team that is taking players from the collegiate scene, skipping over the academy scene entirely in Niles, their top laner, and Iconic, their jungler. And to me, this could pay off. It could be you know, investing really early in some of the big future talent, because Niles and Iconic are guys who are really good solo queue players. They just haven't proved themselves in academy yet, and personally, I think there is levels to this. I think academy is a big step up from collegiate, just like LCS is a big step up from academy. And yes, people can do well in academy and then go to the LCS and do well right away, but that is rare. Just like I think going from collegiate to academy and doing well right away, it would also be rare. So skipping 2 levels, good luck. I think Golden Guardians is going to struggle out of the gate. They have kind of an interesting team, interesting setup. They have Stixay randomly as their AD carry, with a lot of more inexperienced guys. We'll see how it pays off. Newbie, see how Latin American, you know, player is able to come over and do. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch and see. Also, I'm going to make sure I like this video real quick, because I did think it was a good one, and I know how much it helps them out in the YouTube algorithm and everything. Just like you guys should drop a like on this video right now. You know, it was dumb of me that I didn't already like it for them. Next up, let's see who we got. I got to fast forward a little bit, scroll through there. We've got Dignitas at number 9. Again, no surprise to me there. I think a lot of people see these as the bottom 2 teams. I think in most people's opinions, these are kind of the clear 2 weakest rosters. If you had these 2 teams switched around, I wouldn't argue with you too much. Dignitas has a weird team. I really don't like Neo at AD carry for them. I also don't really love their solo laners either in Soligo and Fate God. I haven't really seen much of either of them that impresses me too much. Dardoch and Aframuo are 2 guys who I just really believe are past their prime. But again, when I'm comparing Dignitas to Golden Guardians, I think Dignitas has more guys who are going to be able to do a little bit better this season. Because while I don't think Dardoch is great, I think he should probably be better than a collegiate jungler in Iconic. And like, I don't think Fate God is great either, but I think he should maybe be able to be a little bit better than a collegiate top laner in Niles. But we will see, because Dignitas has some of the older guys who maybe are on their way down, and Golden Guardians has some of the younger guys who are maybe on their way up. It depends when they're going to cross. I don't think it'll be yet in Spring Split, but it could be. I don't know. Dignitas at number 9. Mark, you're doing good so far. You're doing good. I believe you're 2 for 2. I mean, that's what I have on my list as well, but who am I? Next up, we have Immortals at number 8. Another one that I agree with. And again, I don't think this one's very controversial. I think as a whole, Mark went with a pretty safe list, just pretty standard analysis. He's not picking too many crazy upsets or too many crazy shocking picks or anything like that. Immortals at number 8. Again, they have some weird things going on with their lineup. Revenge in the top lane is a huge question mark for me. I think he might be the worst top laner in the league coming into this season. I'm not really excited for him. They have obviously Insanity in the mid lane, who I think is coming off actually a pretty good split last year, and I think he hopefully will continue to develop because we need more North American mid lane talent. Xerxes in the jungle, he's kind of a big question mark. I think he's going to be good, but he wasn't that good at times last year in the LEC. And then Raze and Destiny, we'll have to see exactly how good they're going to be in the bot lane. But again, I think they're a slight step up from Dignitas. I think they're towards the bottom of the league, but there are some players that show some more signs of life to me. I think Insanity is solid. I think Xerxes can be good. I think their bot lane should be solid, and I think I like their bot lane better than the two other bot lanes. So far so good. Immortals at number 8, and again, this is another one that I don't think a ton of people would argue with. Let's see what he's got at number 7. Not sure why I clicked play the video. At number 7, he's got CLG, and another one that I completely agree with, CLG. They have, I think there is a clear divide between the bottom 3 teams and the rest of the LCS. Like, I think there's a big gap between Immortals and CLG. CLG actually has some really solid players. Poe Belter, been solid for a while now. They picked up Wild Turtle, which should hopefully be a big upgrade over Stixxay. So that should hopefully solidify their bot lane a little bit more. I don't love Smoothie, but he's not the worst support, I guess. And in top and jungle, they have Finn and Broxa coming in. And yes, people are kind of low on Finn and Broxa right now because they're coming off not the best years of their career in the last year for both of these guys. But these guys are upgrades over Ruin and Wiggly for sure. So I think CLG has a chance to be better. And CLG could honestly surprise. I do have them rated 7th coming into the season. But if CLG finished 6th, if CLG finished 5th, I wouldn't be shocked. To say that Finn bounces back and has a big year. Broxa bounces back, has a big year. Wild Turtle comes over to CLG and really kind of turns things around in the bot lane for them. I would not be surprised at all if this is a playoff team. So I have them at 7th, but again, if you wanted to move them up a little bit, no argument for me at all. Next up, number 6, MarkZ decides to go with Evil Geniuses, and this is right where I have them as well. Some people are going to have Evil Geniuses 5th. Some people even have Evil Geniuses as high as 4th, but to me, they are a 6th place team because of the question marks at the AD carry and the mid lane positions. I think they have a ton of talent on this team. Impact is an absolute beast. You know what you're getting with him. Super rock solid, super consistent. Actually led the LCS in solo kills for a top laner last year as well, which is pretty surprising statistic for a lot of people. He didn't have the best laning statistics or anything like that, but he would get some solo kills randomly. I think he had like 7, which is pretty crazy. Svenskeren, he's always a beast. He's always going to be real solid. And Ignar is a huge playmaker. But Jizuke is a little bit too inconsistent for my liking, for my taste. When he's good, he's as good as anybody in the LCS. But when he's bad, he's as bad as anyone in the LCS. And I want a little bit more consistency from such an important position as mid lane. And then they went with Deathly at the AD carry position, which was a big shock to me, a big surprise. And I am not very happy with that. So my punishment to Evil Geniuses is putting them at 6th, and Mark Zimmerman himself does agree with me. Next up, what do you got at number 5 for us? He goes with Flyquest. Now, Flyquest, it seems like this offseason is kind of the trendy team to be kind of a dark horse to move up. I've seen some people rate Flyquest as high as number 3 on their tier list, and I get it, but I don't. On one hand, I do get it. They have a ton of awesome young talent. People are so hyped up for Palafox. There was even rumors that he got some LEC offers, which is absolutely crazy. Or maybe not even offers, but got looks at from some LEC teams. And that enough is crazy for an Academy North American mid laner to be doing that. This guy has to be something special. At AD carry, Johnson is an absolute beast. In support, Diamond is one of the most hyped up young and up and coming supports. Jose Diodo, we saw him at Worlds. He was a monster. And Licorice, even though he kind of flamed out towards the end of last split for Cloud9, he has historically been a pretty good top laner. So this is leading people to start to be really hyped up about Flyquest. They have a pretty interesting player at every single position. They lost their entire roster from last season. They had to full rebuild, but they did an amazing job doing so. So people are excited. But I think people need to chill a little bit. So at first, at the beginning of the season, Flyquest was a little bit underrated. And now so many people are saying that Flyquest is underrated. It's almost like they're overrated. I think we need to get under control. In my opinion, Flyquest is not going to be a top 3 team. I think they're going to be much closer to 4th or 5th. If they finish 4th, I wouldn't be shocked. But if Flyquest did make it to Worlds, I would be pretty surprised. It is hard to do stuff right away with young and inexperienced players like Diamond, like Palafox. Even though they might be really good and really hyped up, I still think we should keep our expectations expectations in check. Jose Diodo, even a guy who doesn't have a ton of experience, playing in like the big stage on the big leagues and the big games and stuff, even though I think he will be great in time too. This Flyquest team is built very, very well to succeed in the future, but give him some time. Give him some time. Chill out with your expectations. I agree with Mark here, number 5. Next up, I think this is the first time that me and Mark differ. He has TSM at number 4. So, personally, I think he's a little bit low on TSM. I have them finishing 3rd, but I could definitely see how you have them finishing 4th. Obviously, he has a big question mark about Huni in the top lane. What exactly is Huni going to be? Some people say Huni hasn't been good since Fnatic days. Some people say he hasn't been good since SKT days. But the jury's still out. This guy has a ton of talent. He has a absolutely huge champion pool. He consistently does the most damage per minute of any top laner in the LCS. He just dies a lot, throws a lot of games, has some very, very weird games, and seems to be uninterested and just kind of unmotivated at times. But he knows, and he's even said in interviews that he believes this might be his last chance in North America or just in competitive League of Legends in general. So he knows he has a lot to prove. He knows he needs to come out and have a big year. His coach Bjergsen has come out and said that he thinks Huni could possibly be the best top laner in North America in 2021. So there is some big hype and some big praise, but obviously he has an absolutely massive question mark. And yes, they did sign Haunter to be his backup, but even then, who knows if that'll work out. Another huge question mark on this team is Lost. How good is he going to be? Sword Art's coming over, and, imports have historically been hit and miss in North America. You never know who's coming over to collect a check and who's coming over to actually dominate. I think Power of Evil and Spica are the 2 very, very solid pieces on this team, and I think that's a great young core to build around for the future. I think we're going to see those 2 guys on TSM for the foreseeable future, unless maybe Sword is ready to take over the mid lane, but that would be exciting too. But I think the team could finish 3rd. I think they're talented enough, but I get why you'd have question marks. If you have them 4th, if you have them 5th, I would not argue with you too much. Next up at number 3, who you got for us, Mark? He has 100 Thieves. Now, 100 Thieves is hard for me. I think they are very, very talented. I think they're very, very exciting. They're the Golden Guardians team last year, plus someday. Golden Guardians team was very, very good. They almost knocked TSM out of the playoffs, and then TSM went on to win the title. So that has people having pretty high expectations on this 100 Thieves teams coming into 2021, because someday is obviously a huge addition to that team. But I am hearing some other people saying, hey, come on. Golden Guardians last year didn't look very good. They had one good series against TSM. Then they got, once they were in the winners bracket of the playoffs, things didn't go so good. They got to play against TSM again, and then they lost. And TSM, as we found out, probably wasn't even that good after they went 0-6 at Worlds. So let's keep our 100 Thieves expectations in check, and I could see that as well. That is personally why I have them 4th. I think they are a very, very talented team. I think they're going to take a big step up this year. I think FBI is going to solidify himself as a huge carry threat. So someday you know what you're getting there, and who he could, keep developing as a support and become quietly a very, very good support player. So it's hard for me to decide between kind of 3, 4, and 5. I think 100 Thieves, TSM, and Flyquest are all pretty interchangeable. I think they're all very, very solid 3rd choice in North America, but I think they are obviously a big step down from the top 2 teams. But Mark decides to go with 100 Thieves, TSM, Flyquest. I have it TSM, 100 Thieves, Flyquest. It is what it is. Finally, the last 2, the big dogs. This is where, people start to get spicy. Where do you go at number 2? MarkZ is going with Team Liquid, and it's weird to me. He doesn't really explain a lot why. He talks about how good Team Liquid can be. He says Core JJ is obviously a beast. They brought over Alfari and Santorin, which is going to be awesome. Tactical looked great last year and even went to Worlds and had a pretty good performance. And Jensen, you know what you're getting there. He's going to be rock solid for you. Maybe, there's some question marks about Jensen in big games on the international stage, stuff like that. But for the most part, Jensen is as solid as they come. He's not, absolutely world class, but you could do much worse in the mid lane. And I think Santorin is going to fit very, very well with these solo laners. Santorin is a guy who can play for his lanes really well, and Alfari and Jensen are 2 guys who are absolutely looking to carry, who are absolutely looking to pop off, smash lane, and then carry through themselves. So I think Santorin fits in with that very, very well, and also Core JJ is a huge playmaker. Core JJ can make big roams to mid, and Core JJ even likes roaming to top a fair amount, so he can even be getting involved with kind of snowballing Alfari, and for those reasons, I think this team is going to fit together so insanely well. They're also a great mix of veteran talent with the young guy in Tactical. And since they are kind of that veteran talent, I think they should kind of start to develop and start hitting their peaks pretty early, pretty soon. So I think they're going to be very, very good in the spring split, and that's why I have them rated as the #1 team in my opinion. MarkZ has them at 2. Maybe there's some question marks about Jat still being proven as, you know, a top tier coach, high level coach like that, and just how well the Team Liquid team will fit together. But to me, they were the best team in North America last year. They went to Worlds and went 3-3, almost made it out of groups, and they upgraded their top laner and jungle. To me, this is a clear best team in North America, and North America's best hope at international competition as well. Finally, Mark Zimmerman at #1 has Cloud9, and the Cloud9 fans are going to rejoice because I know there are so many of you. I see the guys in the comment section on Twitter, all that stuff. Mark's main point with Cloud9 is the fact that they have Perkz and nobody else does. He really sees Perkz as potentially the best Western player of all time. Obviously, Caps has a very, very good argument. I think Mark might be overrating Perkz just a little bit because personally, I do think Caps has been better. And there was a point in time where Fnatic with Caps was the best team clearly in Europe, even though Perkz, you know, and G2 were still out there. But obviously, Perkz has been amazing for so long, and every team Perkz has been on has been an absolute threat, not only domestically, but also internationally. In the LEC, and that has been a ton of fun to watch, and I'm so excited for him to come over to North America, where our mid lane talent pool is really rough. I think he's going to absolutely dominate, obviously, but I think Cloud9 does have some big questions. Last year, their bot lane did start to fall off towards the end of the year. And Sven is a beast, and he can be a beast, but I don't know if he's like the massive carry threat that maybe you need to be game in and game out, especially because we don't know exactly what we're going to get with Fudge in the top lane. We have high expectation for him. We have high hopes. But when you look at Team Liquid, you know, Alfari is a beast who's already maybe a little bit more proven. And then also Blabber can be inconsistent as well. I think Perkz is an absolute beast and is probably going to be the best player in the LCS. Corey JJ has something to say about that, maybe. But when I compare Cloud9 to Team Liquid, Alfari and Fudge, give me Alfari. Santorin and Blabber, give me Santorin. Obviously, I'm taking Perkz in the mid lane. And then the bot lane, you know, maybe you take Sven over Tactical, but I think Tactical has a real say there. And then Corey JJ over Vulcan too. So I have at least 3 players on Team Liquid or better, but possibly even 4. So for me, it's tough to put Team Liquid over Cloud9, but MarkZ does decide to go with C9. So in the end, we differ in 2 places. I think TSM's a little bit better than 100 Thieves, and I think Team Liquid is a significant amount better than Cloud9. But MarkZ's going the other way. This is my response to him. This is my reaction to his power rankings. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about MarkZ's rankings? Do you think he has a good list? Do you think he's crazy? Do you think he's smart? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on anything we talked about. And yeah, if you guys enjoy videos like this, we can definitely do some more because there's going to be a ton of people posting power rankings, all that. And I can react to all of them. You know, I think it makes for pretty interesting content. You know, me kind of comparing my thought process to some other people, especially as we get into the season just a couple days away. Subscribe to stay updated on the latest content. Remember to check out Draft Buff. If you do, use code IAMGerman when you get signed up. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!